want to see some broken stuff. IO Abaddon always scares me. Like, this hero combination just feels so disgusting to have to play against. I feel like I'm going to be rather disgusted this game 3.
What, just off the back of, like, how quickly you're able to apply the curse?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, once
if
this
they're
hero's
gonna
online, with an IO behind him, it just looks like one of the most broken duos in Dota. I mean, it kind of is right now, to be fair.
Yeah. It's just a question of when can you actually come online. Is this Treant going to scout out a lot of their movement? I don't know if they see it just yet, and they're actually going to place it down and avoid the little tomato man. As he looks to run away. What's this? I don't even know what that cosmetic's called.
Well, nice ward placement here from Hustlers. Looks like they want to try and set up for a level 1 team fight.
I mean, yeah.
Hold the high ground for a little bit. Maybe try and bait with somebody.
Yeah,
Secret, they're just hanging around the mid-tier 1 tower now together. And it seems like they might avoid the fight altogether as well, which is good game sense here from Secret to not end up on that side of the map. The puppy seems like he's a little bit afraid to go up the high ground to secure the bounty, but Boom will do it. Meanwhile, towards the bottom lane, Chrysalis is going to get glimpsed back here by Theolacore. Bit of damage being dealt here to the Abaddon, and they're just trying to be annoying as humanly possible. Even Divine Llama now shows up and goes right after the range creep. He just wants to secure it immediately.
Even up top, they were doing the same sort of thing. Io was tethered together to the Tusk. You had the Nature's Prophet standing with them as well. It forced Yuma to actually TP up to this lane so that he couldn't run here.
Oh.
Lots of crazy stuff going on around the map.
Well, sadly, that range creep we talked about got denied off. I think the good thing is, because Hustlers are going to push in this bot wave, you are going to have the creep equilibrium just going right back towards that bottom tier 1 tower of the Dire side. So it makes perfect sense for them to do this, but you did lose the range creep XP. It's not the most amazing feeling, as Chrysalis is basically going to get all the creeps himself.
Yeah, you would think so, and again, this is what you do against lanes that you feel are quite strong, just don't lane into them. But Theolacore takes the long way around, and so the range creep is going to get caught by that, let's call it the tomato as well. The neutral creep tomato. That's able to pick them off there. But the important thing is Divine Llama, he's going to avoid that difficult period at the very start of this game, which is like the first couple of levels on the Underlord. Level 3, you generally feel alright.
What about that top lane? Like, the other side lane here is Yuma and Hakoda against Yamich and Boom. Any action to break out here, Danog? Do you expect many kills from this top lane?
I mean, Hakoda's prioritizing just trying to right-click a few of these treants down, make it a little bit easier for Yuma to be able to secure those last hits, but I really don't see him getting too much out of this lane, right? You can't really commit your body with a battery assault because you're just going to get gone on with all of the treants. Obviously, it does a little bit more damage to them now than it used to, but that's why he levels up the Rocket Flare level 1, just to be able to secure a range creep and get Yuma to that all-important level 3 of his own, just so that he's not super vulnerable in the laning stage.
The mid lane, a real kind of one-sided affair right now for Xantic at the very least. Like, in terms of harassment, he's able to just get so much out as the Ember, and in terms of CS, he's 2 CS ahead right now. Armel's still doing a really good job of just kind of making sure he keeps even with the Embers. Can't really do much in the way of trying to harass the Ember back, obviously. Just decides to not skip the creep wave, but rather just force it in. Secure the whole wave and maybe try to give harassment back that way, as he does have creeps to back him up.
It's very deep. Has to be quite careful about staying too long, otherwise he could just get chained underneath the tower and have that do a lot of the damage.
Well, at least for now, though, Xantic's having a very strong start here on the Ember. It's always a good sign if you are a D2 Hustlers fan. Divine Llama also having a very good time down at bot lane, 15-3 in terms of CS. The duo of Abaddon IO. And they're trying to get aggressive now. Chrysalis going to Theolacore, but can't really do too much against him. Just gets glimpsed back every time.
Yeah, again, like, the lane is going to naturally push in towards you if you're Hustlers, right? If you constantly look to put pressure onto Chrysalis, because they're just going to explode that Aphotic Shield over and over again. Divine Llama is going to get those early levels, which he really needs. He's actually even put the second point into the Atrophy Aura early on, just so that you are able to maintain that right-click advantage over the Abba, which is pretty important for him to have.
No first blood's being drawn yet from either side.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Both side lanes just more than happy just farming up. Of course, the mid lane, you don't really expect many kills to come out here between these two, as Thealacore gonna show up here in the mid lane against Armel.
They might look to go for a kill here. And Xantic's looking to join together with him with the glimpse.
Very nice glimpse out. The onslaught was already committed as well, so Armel really has no way out of this. Chains out from Xantic, and Thealacore, of all people, is the one to take the kill on the Disruptor, but a very nice rotation nonetheless.
Oh, absolutely. The kill wouldn't have happened without him, so very well worthwhile for him to be able to get that. And again, this is just a flow-on effect from what I was talking about before, right, of being able to chain use those firestorms onto the Abaddon, because you know that there's not a ton of kill threat while you're right next to the tower. So the wave pushing into them is going to feel very important as well. They just miss out on the catch there inside of the kinetic field. It's going to be a pretty decent combo, though, this game, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff to be able to lock people in place so that that Firestorm gets full effectiveness. And, again, the kinetic field, not something that you can force stuff out of either.
No, absolutely not. Top lane, bit of aggression breaking out here. It's like Yamich going to be in a bit of danger. We'll get chased down here by Hustlers. Shards will block the way, though, so he is able to make his way out. Nice little Shards play by Yamich. Not much Hustlers could do to try and play around that, sadly, so they'll have to let him go. Yuma, of course, got to focus on the creep wave. Can't stick around too long trying to chase down the Tusk. There was also a little bit of action that broke out bottom, but it doesn't really amount to a kill. There was a glimpse back on Puppy, but he's going to be just fine.
Even just this mid lane. I know Armel is a full level behind the Ember Spirit, but it's important that he's... Oh.
Yeah, they've got Thealacore here. No way out for Boom. He'll get glimpse back if he does make it out. So Yuma, that's a pretty big pick-off. Thealacore, he'll get a tip here by Hakoda. And he really has been all across the map, this Disruptor. Like, he's making so many plays happen. There's mid. Xantic. Force a snowball out from Yamich. Doesn't really have another chance to throw out. And won't be willing to dive the tier 1 tower. We'll just let him go.
And Xantic's just playing this mid lane so well, though. Obviously, getting that assist from the Disruptor early on, but able to set up the wards very effectively, be in the lead in terms of last hits. He's top of the net worth. He's been able to secure the bottle as well with the haste. So now he can really look to make some of these early rotations. I would say onto Boom is going to be the highest priority, but just have a look at the ward set up by, well, that's actually Armel's ward on the Radiant side of the river. It's going to protect against a lot of those rotations that Ember Spirit is surely wanting to do. Even just Armel, he's level 6 now, so a little bit of solo kill threat for himself, and at every opportunity, he's just going to try and shove this lane out as quickly as possible. This isn't going for a kill. This is, well, actually, are they going to be able to get a kill on Armel?
He's in danger. Armel, he'll go for the Pulverize, but the Glimpse was there to cancel it off, and now Hakoda showed up. With the Battery Assault, there is no way out for him. He's gone. Huge kill onto Armel. And, I mean, that was his 6th timing. Yep. Now it's Xantic, level 7, 1 full level ahead. And he just wants to hunt. He's heading straight up top lane. Problem is, they did spot out the ward was there to watch him doing that.
That's the plus side. They see it coming, but the thing is, this is what I've been talking about all throughout this series. It's thinking like that additional step ahead. You know that the haste rune is up on the Ember Spirit, so you know that he wants to make a rotation up top. Oh, he gets glimpsed back to the base as well. That never feels good. And yeah, Theoloco, I think he's probably the most tipped player so far this series. For good reason as well, not
he's doing a great job
for memes and flame.
He's doing a fantastic job every game. I mean, I just keep wanting to give the guy MVPs, but nobody allows me to. You know, poor old Theo, he's been robbed, I think, this series so far. He's going to find a double damage rune. Xantic going to pick it up. Oh, this is a perfect setup. Chains are out, kinetic field to hold them down. Snowball's going to buy time, though. Armel, he'll make the jump in. The glimpse was there. It's going to buy them the time to take down both supports. As Xantic gets the double kill, gets the tip from Hakoda. But, you know, if it wasn't for that glimpse back on Armel, they might have been able to turn it.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Right place at the right time. Disruptor's kind of low. That's the big thing about Disruptor as well. It's not just that you can glimpse back. Oh, they've even got vision, so they're not going to commit in too deep. It's the fact that Glimpse and Onslaught basically have the exact same cooldown. That glimpse back is going to be dodged by the Snowball at least, so nicely done, Yamich. But it does mean a bunch
Very
of
nice
TP
indeed.
rotations that don't really accomplish anything.
It's 0-5 now, 3k advantage the way of D2 Hustlers. Like, they are just seemingly so strong at the moment.
Under attack.
Mid lane was a complete wash the way of ads. They even, I mean, you look at that bot lane, Divine Llama's had the freest laning stage of his life. And even the Morph, like, Yuma's not having a bad time. He's 4th in net worth, now 3rd. And this is a very scary place for Team Secret to be in with this style of draft. They've not been able to take off early. Armel is expected to make a lot of space, I think, in this game 3. And, well, so far he's just 0-2-0. Zero impact in the game thus far. His bottom lane now, they are looking towards Crystallis. The Illacore just waiting in the tree line. Xantic is going to rotate.
Radiant's top tower.
Not an easy kill by any stretch, but if they can somehow secure this one, it'd be huge. But instead, mid lane, they'll run it back towards Armel. They'll take the Primal Beast instead. Puppy has no relocate, and he does get glimpse back as well. So Armel goes down, he'll cop the tip. Chains will not land, at least on Puppy, so he is able to tether away. But man, oh man, I mean, they got the mid Primal again.
Is under attack.
I just don't think you can afford to give up Disruptor Clockwork together. Like, it is such a good combo. What one is weak against, the other is strong against, right? You get BKB to counter one of the area containment spells, but it's useless against the other. You get Force Stuff, then it's useless for the other. They're even going to find Boom.
Hustlers moving in, boom. He won't get trapped in the kinetic field, but he's as good as dead. But there is rotations coming in from Secret, but this looks a little bit desperate. They're going to try and secure Thea Core. They've got the Disruptor at the least, but there's so much damage being dealt. Luckily for Secret, it's D2 Hustlers that back off as Xantic was a little bit low on mana, so he does not want to stick around. But it's 1-7. That was the first kill for Secret to pick up. And it was
And
onto
even
the Disruptor of all things.
And it even
Still a
required Crystallis to be
5k
able to
advantage
come.
sitting in the way of Hustlers.
Yeah. Required Crystallis to come. He tried to make a stack happen, wasn't successful anyway, but there was a ward blocking it anyway, which Puppy gets rid of. And the important thing is, all while that was happening, Divine Llama's just sitting bot, spamming out that Firestorm and looking to push in towers. He's even got the Vanguard, so there's no real reason for him to leave this lane until they come and boot him out.
He's just jumping in. Relocate will be forced out. Divine Llama even shows up here. Yamich is going to get caught in the Pit of Malice there for a moment. Adds. Oh, Sleight of Fist change not going to be enough because he did have the stick charges earlier. Puppy's the only one left behind, and he's just going to tether away to Boom. But he has bought so much space that they find the tier 1 mid tower as Divine Llama. He tried to go through the Fiend's Gate. It does wear off, but they don't feel confident trying to jump the Underlord. So he'll just casually walk back towards the bottom lane.
Kind of feels like another one of these situations where you're slowly going to be losing the map to be able to play around with. That's another D ward that Theolacore is able to get. Even just that commonality between the Disruptor and the Clockwork, right? You've got the kinetic field for that high ground vision, you got the Rocket Flare, you got the Cogs that can provide you that same sort of thing. It's just such a strong duo together.
Dire's top tower
Really
under
is.
attack.
Hustlers, again, I mean, really all they need to do is just maintain this lead. Looking back at Crystallis, he's still trying to go towards that Radiance build-up, and the timing's not going to be awfully bad, but definitely not as fast as he would like.
Man,
Yuma in
Ads
the meantime.
Ads
Yep.
has a Maelstrom coming out to him, in addition to an Orb of Corrosion and a Phase Boots. He's 5-0-1, 12.5 minutes in. This man is farmed to hell.
That he is. Armel. Gonna get jumped, has no way out. Onslaught even on cooldown. Chains, not gonna land though. Snowball back the way of her Coda. So they do at least get themselves a Clockwork kill. The Sprite is gonna be there on Adzantic as well, but he's okay to back his way out. So you get yourself a clock. It does cost you a lot of rotations to make that happen for Secret, but again, it just seems like they've got to play like this. They've got to play together.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And even just with that Maelstrom, Xantic is like pushing waves out. You've got a bunch of people up here that can't really do anything. This is what you see in pubs a lot of time, where there isn't that same level of connection, right? Everyone seems to be clumping around the one space when in reality you want to be splitting out.
Armel.
Oh.
Oh, this guy just cannot catch a break. He'll try
tried
to
to
go
go
through
in
the
the portal.
Fiend's Gate. I mean, you gotta try. It was his only play out.
And then Yuma's like, well, thank you for that. Now I've got this bottom side of the map to farm. Didn't even need to use the TP to be able to do it. He's just the recipe away from the Manta style as well, I believe, if he's going to go into that one. And, I mean, with how well the game has been going, he hasn't needed to use more than one charge of the raindrops, so doesn't really need the Falcon Blade either. He could just go straight Manta.
No, he's huge as Morph at the moment. It's just not a fun place for Secret. They see the itemization of the Morph, they're just like, oh, this guy's getting really far ahead at the moment. And it's just not slowing down, because again, Hustlers, they found a way to just control the map. Like, this Primal Beast is just not having a game whatsoever. Maybe once the BKB's up, things will change, but it's a while away for the BKB to even be up on the Primal. And another group up mid lane, Divine Llama. Yeah. D-Ward out. Shards are there. He knows he can't die anyway.
I mean, he's got 2,000 health, 14.5 minutes in. Vanguard, a casual cloak. Atos, of course, providing all those stats. Nigh unkillable. Even looking to go into the Crimson Guard as well, just to provide protection against the Nature's Prophet Treants, against all the physical damage they've got, because like, a huge amount of Secret's damage is that physical component.
Tell me someone saw that.
Radiant are scanning.
So I was about to say,
how
like,
much do you think the game changes once this Radiance is up on Chrysalis? Like, do you think anything really changes here for Secret?
No, but also I feel like the Aghanim Scepter on Boom is going to be pretty important, even like for team fights, obviously, but just having that lower cooldown to keep the lanes shoved out. He's probably going to have level 10 by that period as well, so you get that additional base damage coming out from the Wrath of Nature, so it just clears out creep waves so easily. What I've been wanting to mention is that a lot of the time, why we see Boom have a successful time is that he's able to use his solid micro skills to be able to get some of those units out onto the map to provide information to the rest of his team. And, well, he's just had such a rough time on that top side of the map and nothing's really been happening via Armel that he's forced to be a little bit more selfish, and really only the Treants are giving him a little bit of extra farm so that he can get into that Aghanim Scepter a little bit quicker. I don't think he's left the south side of this tier 2 tower on the bot side for the past minute and a half. He's just letting the Treants do everything. That's how scared they are right now.
Yeah, it's a very frightening position. If you are Secret, like, Xantic's just been so active on this Ember. You don't even need him anymore. Like, you've got so many ways of initiating. Divine Llama with his Rod of Atos, Hakoda with his hookshot. Top lane, they're looking to try and make a play onto the Ember, but Xantic just too quick. All remnant away. TP's out. Get for a reset. No need to stick around. And Secret, I mean, they are buying a lot of space at the very least for their Abaddon. Like, Chrysalis is freely farming that triangle. Puppy making sure he farms it as soon as possible. It's all their faith now is in the Abaddon. Like, this POS 1 Abaddon has to pop off.
I'm going to say it again, though. They've got pretty good area denial. It's the kinetic field, it's the cogs, it's the pit of malice, and then you've got your 2 cores with the potential to just get away if they're not perfectly CC'd. And I wouldn't say they have an overwhelmingly high amount of CC, would you, on Secret?
No. Kind of the one thing I was going to point out in the draft as well, like, you've got like 2 stuns basically. That's pretty much it.
Maybe a root soon on Boom, but you still feeling so careful, even just hiding behind that single tree while he last hits, thinking it's going to provide him a little bit of safety, but...
he's gone. The trees will not help out Boom at all. He's just dead. I mean, they're going to try and make a play here with the relocate. They'll go on to Divine Llama. He's just such a tanky target. They will eventually... Where the hell did he go? Oh, he's in the snowball. He's going to survive, at least for now, but maybe not for long. Though I say that, he's still going. Hook shot will save Armel. He needs to leave him. They finally got him down, but what's it going to cost? It's a full team wipe. I mean, they get a Xantic at least. Chrysalis gets something. Maybe he makes it out, but the glimpse is there. Theolacor gonna drag him back.
Radiance? Nah.
Full team wipe for the side of D2 Hustlers.
You get a 6 kill streak on Chrysalis. That's important, you know, and I don't know how many levels they would have gotten from that, but it would have been a lot. I mean, Abaddon himself got 2.6k experience just from that one there to be able to bring him up to level 13, and, well, it's a little bit of cope, but it is very important to get up onto that level 15, right? It just goes to show that if Puppy's able to get in here with that overcharge going, Chrysalis, even just with the Naked Radiance, was able to get a lot done. And with the kill streaks being taken away, that was a Manta now finished up as well for the Abaddon. Sorry, not a Manta, a Yasha. And if he gets into the Manta plus level 15, maybe they turn around that next team fight. Again, that was without the Aghanim Scepter on the Nature's Prophet as well.
Yeah, you gotta give massive props as well to Yuma in the middle of that team fight. Like, he morphs into the Tusk and gets the Snowball. And really just buys so much time for Divine Llama so they can figure out what they were gonna do. Just made all the difference, it felt like, because that Underlord, his presence is just so annoying for the side of Secret, but there is certainly signs of life now for Secret at least. Like, just getting that pretty big streak away from the Ember, giving it all to Chrysalis obviously makes a huge change now for the Abaddon. As he's working towards that Manta style into the Blink. There's your Ags up as well for the Prophet, so boom. Now has that Wrath of Nature root, or rather the Entangle.
Are scanning.
And they are going to smoke up right off the back of this.
What are they going to be able to get, though? I mean, Primal Beast, he's going into an Ags. He still needs to be the one to lead the charge. I would almost prefer to see him just go into a Blink Dagger on Armel so that whoever he catches out, they can look to confirm the kill. Again, they're lacking that reliable lockdown. You need to be so perfect with your initiation. And, well, you can just see here, every single time there's that sound cue, he just gets out. Even from the fog, you're going to get it. So I don't necessarily see the value in going for those kills until you've got a Blink on Armel, or at the very minimum, Yamich.
Boom. The Fiend's Gate comes in, he gets rooted in place, he does have the help, but a great Static Storm off the setup of Divine Llama. Yuma is just going to clean up. Armel, he is trying. They brought back on two. They're making their way back into the team fight, trying to protect their Primal Beast. Armel's still alive, but not for long. Yuma, he's found a triple. They want a little bit more than that. A huge Pit of Malice. Divine Llama holds down three of them. Chrysalis, he's trying to run, but the chase is on. They'll take him out. The Abaddon has no chance as Puppy. He will die back immediately. An ultra kill for Yuma. Can they get this man a Rampage? I think they just may. Pulverize, it buys a little bit of time and
Two ultras.
Oh, two ultra kills out. No Rampage, but two ultras. It's just as good.
Three diebacks as well. One onto Armel.
Oh.
He has just crippled his net worth, and, well, now you're not going to get that Blink Dagger that I was wanting anytime soon. How do you lose this game at this point? I think, does Morphling have the Aghanims completed off the back of that? Yes, he does. So now you're having to compete against this level of farm.
Divine Llama, like these last two games, he's been impeccable. Like these Pit of Malices this game, or rather this team fight, just huge. Like he starts off with a 2-man, then finds a 3 to 4-man Pit of Malice. And mind you, of course, they did group up and lump up, but nevertheless, he's just setting up so perfectly. It's just so hard to fight into this.
It's kind of like game 2 where we were like, well, who does Secret actually go on here to be able to start things out? Divine Llama is tanky as hell, can't be him. Yuma, he's got a crazy amount of farm as well, and I'm assuming that he's going to use that morph into the Primal Beast, so he's going to have that additional stats. He's going to have some extra status resistance as well, so not even all that worried about the limited stuns and silence that they're going to be playing against on Secret.
Another incredible performance so far here from Hustler's team. Secret backs against the wall, trying to figure out a way back into this one as Armel. He's had such a rough game. Forced the BKB, still gets hookshot. He's going to try for a TP out. Oh, it's just not enough.
And they do use
now
that morph
Yuma's
onto
the
the
Primal
Primal.
Beast.
Yep.
This
He's even got the
looks
axe
balanced.
as well, right? So he's going to be able to have that that break component coming out from the Uproar. Feels kind of nice against the Abaddon. Oh man, that would be such
Just
an
jumps right
excellent
in
combo.
after Puppy.
Yeah.
Chrysalis does make it out at the least, but Puppy is going to have to sacrifice himself for this. And eventually Xantic will just happily take the kill on the Ember.
So I'm pretty sure
I
it
don't know,
works. I'm happy to be wrong if it doesn't, but if he's able to... Oh, look at this. They're going for another kill onto Boom.
Oh boy. It just happens too quick. Like, you just have one person set up, and with the Fiend's Gate, they're just there so fast.
Alright, so you ready to hear my combo that I really want to see D2 Hustlers pull off?
Go on.
Alright, Morphling morphs into the Primal Beast, is able to get off the... is it the Enrage? Uproar. The Uproar to be able to send out the break thingos, whatever you want to call them, and then you get a static storm on top of that. So even if he wanted to, Chrysalis can get 100 to 0'd and not be able to pop the borrowed time manually because he doesn't have a BKB.
That does seem pretty busted.
Would be nice.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Let's see what happens. I mean, I'd like to see it now too, now that you've pointed it out.
He's got the Manta too.
Hustlers?
On oh, you be
Puppy.
careful about where he's pathing this courier.
The puppy's gone. Yuma just blows him up. Rod of Atos. Chrysalis, he's going to be able to purge that off with the Aphonic Shield.
Radiant's middle tower.
But in terms of fighting back, like you're 19k behind now. You're against this Morphling who's just out of control. Xantic's been out of control practically the whole game, and Divine Llama's been just playing this Underlord to perfection. They morph into the Abaddon. Curse of Avernus, thank you very much, he says.
Dire's bottom
And it's like, well, how do you defend this now?
Radiant structures.
I don't think you do. I think you got to give this one up. You got to give up one lane with the hope that you're going to be able to get into this BKB on Armel. He's still just so close to finishing it up, and well, with the Clockwork TPing back, he didn't feel safe enough to be able to stick around there on that side of the map.
Dire's bottom tower.
At least you've got Puppy respawning.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You got to get this next wave to Armel. He needs that BKB. That's really the only thing that's going to enable you to... Oh, they're going to glimpse him back, aren't they? At least he's got the
They
BKB, but I don't think you can afford to pop it on this. He'll back up. He's got the the Blink Dagger, so if you can get onto... Who do you even go on? Because they're instantly going to hookshot you. Whoever, even if you blink BKB pulverize, but you need to try and find a way to get it onto Xantic before he's able to pop the BKB and find a way to burst him down. I just don't know if they're going to have the tools to do that.
Here we go again. Yuma morphs into the Abaddon. Won't bother trying for the curse. Doesn't really need it for this melee barracks, it doesn't seem, as Chrysalis. It's going to move up. Might just lose his borrowed time immediately with the way this damage is coming out. Though no, he will survive thanks to the puppy with the Holy Locket. But the mid-rax is dead. Hustlers, they'll see enough. Though nice root out from the Prophet, but
They're going for a
not
backstab
quite
here.
nice enough.
Double smoke caught out by the vision. And they're doing everything right on Hustlers.
They really are. Their positioning is always perfect. Armel forced the BKB up just to try and avoid any kind of control coming in from D2 Hustlers. But that's your BKB gone.
Radiant's
Bottom
bottom
T2 tower now under siege from T2 Hustlers. I don't think they even need to slow down, but there is only 35 seconds left on the Aegis, so maybe they played safe, maybe not.
Maybe, but I mean, with the Tusk being dead, with all of your auras available, I think you're happy enough. Man, Divine Llama's even just putting himself up on the front line. Look at all those auras they have to play with, man.
Oh, look at this, moving in. There is a pulverize immediately cancelled by Thea Lacour. Chrysalis, he's going to be able to back off. But the thing is, he just can't do anything in these fights. Like, even with the Aya behind him healing him up, he's just not able to stand there and man up. So they jump in again. Another great Pit of Malice from Divine Llama.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just focus the racks, objective-based gaming.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense to me. And, I mean, that's the issue with the Abaddon, right? It just takes way too long to come online. It's the issue that I was having from the very beginning with the pick. I thought maybe with the Nature's Prophet they would be able to stem the bleeding a little bit, but clearly not. I mean, and there was just... The mid lane went far too well for that Ember Spear. That's going to be mega creeps that they're having to go up against, unless they take this one last fight as Armel goes for the deep TP in. He's got to wait for that BKB to be available, otherwise he's just going to get glimpsed.
Oh no, he's going to try and
just not
BKB
there.
pop. They're going to move in. Pulverize onto the Underlord, but it's doing literally no damage as the hook shot is there, catching two with the Pit of Malice, just locking them down. It's over. They've called it. GG is called. D2 Hustlers finding themselves a 2-1 victory over Team Secret here in Div 2 of Western Europe. And I'll tell you what, Game 1 was a rough...